What's going on, everybody? Anthony here with Lancer Tactical, and instead of bringing you guys another captivating and riveting table talk review, we got an interesting call from Cisco over at Airsoft GI, and he kept asking for one of our Tandemkross Cthulhus. So he said he wanted to do some sort of a burn down torture test with it. What I suggested was he come on over to our place because I just don't trust him. So we're going to be doing something that we've never done on the channel today. We're going to be going through a burn down torture test of our officially licensed Tandemkross Cthulhu gas blowback pistol.
This ain't no regular thing. I came for the ring, you know what I mean. I shoot my shot and it's clean. This for my city, yeah, this for my team. If you talking, it's hard to be nice. I play with all of my life. You see my name in the lights. Better get right, my champion.
I'm here with Cisco from GI.
What's going on, guys?
So what we're going to be having for you guys today is we're actually going to be running one of our Tandemkross Cthulhus through a torture test to see how far to go and how long it'll last.
Brand new out of the box. There's quite a few torture tests that we have lined up.
I have Cisco on hand today because, as you guys know, or if those of you that don't know, he is pretty much an expert on the torture test. You want to explain what you've done in the past?
Yeah, so back when the Gen 2 first came out, I did a torture test on those. Brutal, but very surprising. The Gen 2s have their reputation that they have today, I think, because of my torture test, so you're welcome.
Thank you, thank you.
You weren't around, but
yeah, it wasn't me yet, but I appreciate it.
And then quite a few years ago, we also did the Gen 3 torture test, and that one we put through the ring. Oh, it's hot. And it survived, so I'm actually really excited to see what a gas blowback from Lancer Tactical is capable of. We are going to be shooting this in full auto non-stop. We're going to be putting 10,000 rounds through this bad boy. First with green gas, and then we'll show you what we're going to do later with the other 5,000 rounds.
All right. So let's go ahead and get started.
I didn't gas it up all the way.
Man.
I forgot to purge them. It's okay, keep going. Keep going, I'll load them up. All right, to make things a little bit easier for us to load, we got a box for any spillage. That way it's just faster for us to reload. We let the magazines warm up a little bit, so we're just gonna continue our test. Full auto. Oh. That's still so much fun.
It's our fault, honestly, for making it shoot such a high rate of fire.
Gas inefficient.
Yes.
I could feel just the charging handle, the back end of the bolt is super cold. Like if it wasn't like 80 plus degrees outside, I'm fairly sure this would be nice and frosty. But we're gonna give this, give us a chance to gas up. We're about 1/5 of the way through the jar of BBs. So we're loading up right now. Okay, so we are loaded up again. Anthony is adjusting the rear sight because we noticed that the adjustment screw was starting to back out. So when you get yours, put a little bit of thread lock on there just to keep it nice and snug because the vibrations are running up my legs. Okay, you ready?
See, I knew I was gonna have to be worried when you asked me to do this. All right.
It's faster to shoot the mags than it is to load them.
Yeah. Spend more time loading than you do shooting. This is brand new out of the box, so it did seem like it had a little bit of a break-in period because she's shooting a lot better now.
Yeah.
Oh, more for your report.
Oh, that's hilarious. We should just let that fall off and then just shoot it from there. Unless that's a key component to holding the gun together.
We'll find out. Well, there goes the screw. We'll find it later.
Yep.
All right, guys, so we just finished shooting this one. We took a quick second to reload our mags, refill with green gas. And if you might have seen in that last little clip there, what you saw is our rear sight screw actually came loose here. So like Cisco said earlier, when you first get this, you do want to put a little bit of Loctite on some of your screws just to prevent that. But then again, I doubt you guys are going to be putting 5,000 rounds to it in one session. So this shouldn't be too much of an issue. But as a pro, you now have an adjustable sight for very long range shots.
You are a clown.
But
something that we noticed also, you can't tell now, but the bolt was frozen over. You could see the perspiration all over that bolt from it defrosting. Again, it's like 80-something degrees outside. But the fact that it got that cold for it to frost over is pretty nuts.
Especially with this heat.
Yeah,
right?
especially with the heat.
And then I don't know if you guys are able to see that, but if you guys are able to see that, it's pretty moist here. It's nice and wet from all that, you know, built up frost melting.
That's a wob.
Yeah.
It's a wet ass bolt. So,
all right, so you want to take over the shooting now since I just did a little bit?
Sure. We're about a quarter of the way done with the BBs. There's still some in the basket here, but let's just get into it, shall we?
See if you can hit a long range shot.
It won't stay up. Hold on. You know, I was scared to fire right now, thinking the slide was just gonna mess my hand up, but it's not a slide that's reciprocating, just a bolt. Okay.
No, she's still going.
No issues there. It's still going with a bolt lock. Very nice. Last 50 round drum, and then we're gonna take a break to let it warm up and reload. So much green gas just spilled onto my thumb. Wow, that's cold.
Show them how frosty it is, but it's still shooting.
Oh yeah, no, look at this, guys. It's frozen over. That is actually insane.
Would you
You
agree?
see it there?
Would you agree on a high capper? Would it already have stopped shooting for being so cold?
Ooh, you know what? I think so, just because the amount of mass that needs to move on the slide.
Not enough pressure built up.
Yeah, exactly. I think because it's just
Just a little bolt.
the little bolt here, really just super lightweight, it allows it to continue to fire after this many shots. My goodness.
Pros and cons.
I want to put this on the back of my neck because it's hot out here, but safety. So give us a chance to reload.
All right, and now that we've had a quick chance to, you know, refill and reload, we're gonna get started and continue with our.
It's moist.
Oh, it is extremely moist right now. The whole lower portion of the gun, those of you that have an APL1, pretty much all this lower portion of the grip right here is starting to get nice and cold. So it does feel good out here, even though it's super duper hot.
We've already gone through one complete can of gas, so on to the next one. Come on. There it is. Yay. Hope I didn't break the nozzle.
All right, and on to the next round of magazines here.
Okay, let's do it. You see, guys, the way the thermodynamics works is that when an object gets colder and then it's rapidly cooled,
Oh, we have an issue with
the
that?
internal temperature remains cold still. And if you believe that, you shouldn't. I'm not a scientist.
Clearly, we're not scientists. I mean,
For science. For science.
we play with toys.
Oh my goodness. The entire back of that.
I don't know if you guys can see that. We are actually building up a good amount of frost on the back to the point where it looks like there's a little bit of ice chips. You see that?
That is. That looked like a nice.
Nice little ice cream pop.
Yeah, exactly. I was gonna say a big stick. Back from our scheduled break. Let's do it. So I do notice the bolt is locking up a little bit, and when I charge it, it'll fire. I think that's because of how much frost is built up internally. It's preventing it from seating all the way forward, and then when I pull the trigger, the hammer has already been released, so then when I pull the charging or the bolt back and send it forward, it fires.
That's gonna be a cold mag right there.
Oh yeah.
Oh, and we have our first real malfunction here. We have a bit of a jam.
Oh, okay.
The nozzle seems to be sticking forward. Let's see here if we can't get it unstuck. All right.
So right now, as you guys can see on camera, it is quite frozen over. So
Yeah, we might have actually had our first true malfunction.
let's see.
Yeah, this nozzle wants to be stuck forward here, and it can't seem to get it to back out. So,
Let me see.
we might be at the end of that bolt.
The bolt catch was engaged, but
See if you can give it a little, there you go. See?
oh yeah, it is stuck there. How do we?
Same
Same as the AP1, right?
Yes, yeah.
It is so frozen. Yeah, that bolt is nice and so it is moving. Or like we have confirmed that the bolt is able to
She
move back and
is
forth
stuck.
with a little bit of force. It could be.
Oh.
Run it.
Let's see what we got here. Oh, we have a breakage.
Ooh, what fell out?
Seems to be one of the pins for the internals here.
Ooh.
So this might be a wrap for this APO1, but we're still gonna try and see what she does. Oh, yep. Seems gonna be it for this APO1 setup.
Ooh.
Yep, she might be donezo.
Okay.
Looks like your torture test might have broken our gun.
Okay, we're gonna take a quick look to find out exactly what that pin is, where it fell out, and figure out what's going on, and see if we can get it back up running or not. Okay, guys, after having our tech take a look at what happened and diagnosing the situations, we found that the part that fell out when the gun failed was actually the hammer. So what happened was, deduced by our techs, is that the hammer just got a lot of the extra green gas spillage over, and it frosted over so much, turning it super brittle. It was just super cold, and that's what caused it to break. So I'm actually really surprised that it was the hammer that failed and not the nozzle, what we initially thought.
I expected the nozzle to snap first, but I was
Yeah.
surprised with the hammer that, it broke. But you are aware you're gonna have to pay for that as well, right?
Huh? Yeah.
I can't eat. I'm broke.
So we are going to continue the test on the original upper, but we pulled a brand new Cthulhu, obviously in blue to show the difference. So we can do the full auto test, but we're going to continue the test with HPA now. So with HPA, you are going to get a consistent release of pressure with each shot, but you won't get the cool down effect of green gas. Guys, this is a extreme situation test. We dumped around 2,000 rounds. Where's the bottle at? About 2,000 rounds, give or take a few hundred, in like one sitting. This is extreme levels of firing. This isn't something that any normal person would do. They probably wouldn't even be using this in full auto anyway. So it is just a test to try and break the gun, which we did achieve. But something that you probably won't need to worry about. I have already loaded up, I don't know how many mags these are, with an HPA adapter. The regulator is set to about 90 PSI. So yeah, we're just gonna full auto dump it, and then it'll be much easier to load this time.
We're gonna have an easier time here.
Yeah,
All right.
and by the way, we did start with a brand new bottle of 5,000 rounds. There's about 2,000 rounds loaded up, give or take.
Let's see how she does.
Hey,
We destroyed the rear sight.
the rear sight fell off completely this time. That's nice. That's nice. We'll set that to the side.
But we'll keep going. Oh, and we broke something internally.
Oh, another screw came out.
Another sweet surprise. So that appears to be the nozzle screw.
Ah.
Yeah. So it looks like we have a screw that has come off of the nozzle. So that may prevent the nozzle from functioning, but we'll still give it a shot.
Huh?
Did any of you ever take apart the remote when you were kids, and then when you put it back together, you have some extra pieces?
Yeah, that's
That's making it more efficient.
It's so many rounds. Okay, I want to shoot it.
Yeah, go ahead, get in on that.
We have so many mags that we don't have to worry about.
With all the pieces that have broken and fallen out, at this point, this thing is running on like hatred and just rage.
This is running on hopes and dreams.
Hopes and
There's
dreams.
a train, but we're gonna keep rolling through it because this is shooting. I will say though, running it HPA tapped is actually a lot of fun.
It's not freezing your hands.
I can understand the reason why people do it. I don't approve it, but I understand it. We were able to dump more rounds in the past 5 minutes than we have been able to with the entire green gas test.
Yeah,
Just
green gas
due
is a
to-
little bit more torturous.
Logistics. So I do notice that it obviously, you guys can see too, that it is hiccuping. Let me see what the tank is looking like currently. So we still got a good amount of PSI. It could be that that screw that came out of the nozzle is just affecting its airflow. So, but it is still running. Here, let's swap. You get more.
I don't really think that screw is necessary.
That is hilarious. Is the fact that it's still working. I'm very curious to see what this screw is.
We shall find out.
Okay, I just loaded up the last of the 5,000 rounds into this magazine. So if we're able to clear out the rest of these magazines, it shot 5,000 rounds HPA tapped consistently.
Oh, and we had a catastrophic malfunction with another screw flying off.
Holy.
So this one you can see, wherever that screw went, this one actually is pretty much the end of our nozzle.
It was actually the
there you
nozzle
go.
spring.
There we go, that's what we were looking for. So there goes the nozzle spring and the nozzle itself. So we're gonna have to take a look and see exactly what the failure point was on this. All right guys, so that little piece that you guys saw fly out was actually the nozzle retention screw and the nozzle spring itself. So it pretty much wobbled itself loose due to all the vibrations, both from the green gas and the HPA. So
As we said earlier,
word of advice,
it was holding itself together on hopes and dreams.
So-
But word of advice, thread lock everything.
yeah, make sure you guys thread lock everything, put a little bit of blue Loctite on absolutely every screw here. That way you don't have that exact same issue happening. And we're just gonna go ahead and continue though.
Yes,
There you go,
sir.
Cisco.
Okay, this is the last of the 5,000 rounds. So let's just get it over with. I think it's just not enough pressure.
Yep,
Yeah.
might be low on pressure there.
Yeah, it's out of air.
All
Okay, we do have another tank filling right now, so we're gonna swap to that.
And we'll be
So-
right back.
Movie magic. All right, guys, we replaced the tank. We have more air. We have that many mags left. Let's just do it. It's hot out here. I'm tired. Oh, empty.
Almost.
Okay, we got 4 mags left. 4 mags.
And the last mag.
It was supposed to be over. I thought you were done. I threw the bottle.
We're done. We're done.
I was
That's
signaling
it.
that we're done. Okay, that was 5,000 rounds of pure HPA goodness. Give or take a few rounds because spillage and stuff. But that was consistent. So again, guys, this is the same upper that we started with the 2,000 rounds of green gas. So it was 7,000 rounds. some of the screws vibrated loose.
Loctite.
A little bit of Loctite, as we said, that will help remedy the issues or prevent issues from happening. And then again, doing the extreme test of full auto dumps with green gas.
For this long of a period, that's insane.
Yeah, so we're at roughly 7,000 rounds of non-stop full auto shoot. Oh, not non-stop, there were a few breaks.
Yeah, some pauses.
But consistent full auto shooting. We didn't shoot it in semi or switch it to semi or anything. It was consistent. This video has gone on way too long, so I think we're just gonna keep this as just a shooting test.
Full auto torture test?
Yeah, a little full auto torture test. And if you guys would like to see us do a practical test of us dropping and running it over and setting it on fire in torture test fashion, let us know in the comments below, guys.
Well, now that I'm back in the studio here, that was quite a burn down that we did with Cisco's help, torture testing our Tandemkross Cthulhu gas blowback pistol. And I was pleasantly surprised with how well it actually did. Mind you, yes, we did have some issues along the road, but to put it into perspective, around the 2,000 round mark is usually when you would want to do some maintenance anyway by either replacing O-rings or checking for any sort of breaks or cracks in your internal components and making sure that all your screws are nice and tight and maybe even Loctited to prevent them from backing out. So the fact that that lasted as long as it did was actually really good. So we had about 7,000 total rounds go through it, 2,000 of which were on green gas, mostly pure full auto, no semi-auto, no finicking with it. So that was actually really good. And then the latter 5,000 were all on HPA. Mind you, the initial issue we had was with a hammer breakage, but that was also due to the fact that we ran about 2,000 rounds of pure green gas through it, which did cause the metal of the hammer to get a little bit brittle from it being so cold. Now, from what you saw in that footage, the hammer and the externals and some of the internals were absolutely frosted over, which did play a role in that hammer snapping. So once it snapped, we did actually switch out the lower for a fresh blue lower, but we did keep with the same original upper because at that point we wanted to see how far that upper and that nozzle would go. My original projection was that the nozzle would be the first to break, as that tends to be the typical breaking point on most of your gas blowback pistols. Surprisingly, all we really had in terms of issues with the upper were that funny little rear sight where that screw came out and then you had a flip-floppy rear iron sight, but that doesn't actually affect the functionality or performance of the pistol. That's more of an aesthetic issue. Now, the nozzle itself, the only issue we had was that the retention screw and the nozzle spring itself did back out and come out. As you saw in the footage, it flew out of the pistol. Once we were able to put that all back together and get it nice and snug down, it ran the remainder of those 5,000 rounds, or the remainder of them, on HPA with pretty much no issue. A couple double feeds here and there, but some of that could be attributed to either nozzle wear or just bad magazine feeding. But all in all, I was pleasantly surprised with how well it did. Now, if you were to run a pistol for that same amount of time doing that level of shooting with it, you're more than likely going to experience some similar issues. I was surprised that nothing truly broke. Most of those components that did wear out are actually easily replaceable, which is one of the pros to running a AAP01 style gas blowback pistol. There are plenty of aftermarket parts available. So a little piece of advice, if you do intend on running something as hard as we just did with that burn down test, make sure you Loctite all of your screws, or at the very least, make sure that they're nice and snug. So if you liked what you saw and you want to get your hands on one, make sure you head on over to any one of our Lancer Tactical retailers, as the officially licensed Tandemkross Cthulhu is currently available in a wide variety of colors as well. My name is Anthony, and thanks for watching.